Dirty fucking wankers. What the fuck are you doing?
What can I do?
What the fuck are you doing? Do you know kids come past here?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, kids come past here. Fucking state of that, look. My God. What a fucking state.
If you take a photo of me,
Yeah, fuck you.
I'll report you.
Fuck you. Report me for what?
You take a
For
photo
what?
of
For what?
Why are you taking a photo of me? Do you know it's illegal to do that?
No, you're in public. You're in public. Take a photo of me. You're in public. Look at you. My God.
It's a free world.
Look at you. You're beautiful, you are. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh man. Yo, Esau is through. Absolutely cooked, man. Hey, Kahala Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Before I begin this lesson, I would like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hasham Rachakwadash for giving me the spirit to do this lesson, Lord willing, it's edifying to the elect, whoever they may be. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, the leaders of all Israelites in these end times, showing us the correct way to salvation, the ones that possess 100% truth. Shalom to you, Akwaf in order, meaning you Israelite sisters that are in order, as well as you brothers out there teaching on the housing hedges. And shalom to you Israelites that look like these other races, but your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, making you a Hebrew Israelite. Because this thing ain't about color, it is about the chosen seed line, and the seed line whose salvation is for. Okay. All right, so yeah, man, I came across this and it made me laugh, but it made me a bit angry at the same time, man, because this is acceptable in this society. You heard what he said at the end of this little clip. Let's run it back because it was right at the end. 1 second. One second, we'll get to it. He said it's a free country. See, because Esau's allowed to roam free, and you know,
For what? For what?
this behavior is considered somewhat norm in this society. There's a lot of people that are obviously against it, as they should be, but you know, this has become a normal thing, and people are now comfortable walking around looking like this hideous thing that you're seeing on the screen right now, man. They're comfortable about it, and look what he says. I'm gonna call it a he because it is a he. You can blatantly see between the legs it's a damn he. So, and I want to say Salakia for for even having to show you this, man. If I had to see it, you gotta see it. Anyway, let me show you what he said. This whole nigga right here.
For what?
Why are you taking a photo of me? Do you know it's illegal to do that?
No, you're in public. You're in public. Take a photo of me. You're in public. Look at you. My God.
It's a free world.
Look at you. You're beautiful, you are.
He said it's a free world. See, that's Esau's mindset because of the philosophies, you know, the wine that they've pushed upon the nations, man. And anyone that's down with it, you're literally down with the image of the beast. Okay, this whole system, what it's about, this Roman Empire, man, revived Roman Empire. You're down with the ways of this system. And this is part of the ways of this system, man. You know, this is part of, you know, the image of the beast. You know, because it's just all wickedness, and Esau pushes that on a high level because he has no shame, this man. He's absolutely profane, right? Let's read it. Hebrews 12, starting at 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright, and Esau is the nation of Edom. Okay, because Esau's name was changed to Edom, and Esau became the progenitor or the forefather of the Edomites, the biblical Edomites. So when you hear the word Esau, that's talking about the nation of Edom, which today in the world is predominantly the so-called white man. Originally started as a so-called white man, but obviously through generations of us mixing our seed with heathens, you have Edomites that look like us. and you also have our people, the Israelites, that look like Edomites. Okay, so you can't solely base off appearance, but this is the type of behavior they push out in the world, man. And you saw those nonces, those Bati man there lining up, queuing up to have a go, have a quick dirty fling. Like I said in my last lesson, if Esau knew that no one's watching, okay, they would pop a dog, a trans, I'll just say. They'll pop a man, a little boy, a baby. They don't give a damn, man. A chicken, anything, any hole's gold, Esau, and I mean any hole. Man, it's terrible, but the scriptures say it, right here. Lest any, Hebrews 12:16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, the Edomites, it says, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And you can read that in the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 19 on down. It goes into the story of how, Jacob and Esau were born. Esau being red when he came out, meaning that his blood showed through his skin, showing that he was when the so-called white man came to the earth, because they pushed this idea of having brown skin as being abnormal when we all had melanin. Okay, melanin is scientifically proven to protect you from the sun, and we all need it, and we all had it because the Lord, when he created the earth, he saw that everything he made was perfect. Okay, but the Edomite is somewhat of a baby to this earth, or the bloodline of Esau anyway. But let's read verse 17. It says, for ye know, Hebrews 12:17, for ye know that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Because they aren't genuinely seeking the Lord like that, because they don't have faith. They weren't blessed with that gift. Faith is a gift that has to be given unto you. And Esau wasn't blessed with that because he's not the children of the Lord. He's a heathen, and he is the worst of the heathen. And there's no repentance for him, even if he seeks it carefully with tears. Okay, because it's not coming from a sincere place. They don't want to face the judgment, but they're not really sorry about, where they're at in life and what they had to do to get there. And they will never amend their ways. They'll never correct their ways. You see it, in their daily life. Just, walking around doing what they want, man. Just using and abusing this world, okay? And indulging in the worst of sin, because, to do what they do, a man putting on a woman's garment and vice versa, that's an abomination unto the Lord, man. And these people have no shame. They really don't care. Okay, that's the difference between us and them. We're the ones that stand for righteousness. Okay, whether you look like a so-called white man or not. If you're up here with us teaching what we teach, then you're in the right spirit that Yahweh Shem Yahushai wants us to be in. And Esau and Edomite can be identified, through their behavior, man. An Edomite is not going to want to come up here and do what we do. It's just like an abomination to him. We'll get into that in the book of Job, chapter 21, in just a moment. But I want to further expound on this Hebrews 12:16, right? So when it says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, to be profane is outside the temple, meaning they're not holy people. They weren't given the promises. They're not, the covenants aren't for them. The keeping of the law, all of that it's not for him. He's a profane person. He's outside the temple, man. Okay, but when it goes into fornicator, let's dive into that word, okay? And we'll go into the etymology of Hebrews 12:16, and we're going to look up this word fornicator right here. It says pornos. We'll tap on that. And then pornos, kind of like porno, right? But it's literally what you think it is. It says, a man who prostitutes his body to another, or lust for hire. And Esau, he has no, no issues doing that. He's a perverted man, a male prostitute. But this is the main bit right here. This is the part that really stands out. It says, a man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse, a fornicator. So this man, what you were seeing here, these devils queuing up to have a go at this popping. Slacky, that's a whole nother lesson. But I'll get into that, Lord willing, soon. But you see them queuing up, man, you know, thinking that no one's watching. This man's probably keeping a lookout. And this guy's calling them out, and then they fled quickly like roaches, man. They scattered, okay? Didn't want to be seen on camera. I hope their wives, because you know they got wives at home. But they don't care. They'd rather pop a manly wife, a man wife, their side dude. Yeah, they'd rather pop him than their wife at home. Which the Edomite wife probably ain't giving it out anyway to him, because Esau's lame. Has no skills in turning on a woman, and you know, they don't know what they're doing in bed either, man. You know, from what I've heard. You know, everyone knows that they're women loving Jake, man. BBC. Anyway, so it says a man who indulges in an unlawful sexual intercourse, and that's exactly what those freaks were up to. And they also pop dogs and animals, man, children. That's unlawful as hell. Bible speaks all against that, but they don't care because they're ungodly people. Let's go to it, man. Let's turn to the book of Job, right? I've got it written down here. Job 21 and 13 it is. Oops, I put 13. Let's just whatever. We'll get to it. 21. And we're going to read that bit in yellow. All right. So Job 21 and 13, it says, they spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave. And who does that sound like? Who has the fatness of the earth? Esau, man. Read Job 27 around verse 40. It says, therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. So they really don't care about the ways of the Lord, man. And it's evident in how they conduct themselves in the earth. It's very evident. These people are ungodly as hell, and that's one of the names that the Lord has for them. It's not just the Edomite, the wicked, the violent man. It's also the ungodly, okay, which fits this, precept to a T. Verse 14, right? So Job 21 and 15, it says, what is the Almighty that we should serve him? This is the thought of the Edomite, starting with their elites, the Bill Gates and all them people above them. That's their peoples. The very ones they're complaining about is that, like them looking in the mirror. The scriptures say, he that when the wicked curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul. They cursing out these elites and everything they're doing, but that's you're the same people, man. That's your nation. That's how you get down, okay? Because if you was in that type of position of wealth and power, you would be them same elites, okay? Because you people, that's just what's wired in you. You don't know the ways of the Lord. You're not godly people. You're the problem. The Bible literally calls you the cancer, okay? Just not in those words. It calls you the disease, the long disease that has to be cut out, okay? And you are, man. We're tired of having to put up with this, okay? What if I was walking with my children, right? And my children are clued up, always have been since a very young age. My children are different, man. My children got a head on their shoulders. I've got 3 children, okay? Only one of them's young. The other ones are grown. But they all clued up, and if they was to come across something like this, it would traumatize them, man, because they ain't gonna unsee what they see, and they're not gonna be some senile kid. Oh, what was that? And not really, and be oblivious to it. They're gonna know. And I be damned if I'm walking with my children and stumble upon some perverted, disgusting display such as that, man. But anyway, that's how Esau gets down, man. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, starting at 5. It says, behold, I am against thee. So the Lord ain't with everybody, okay? He's got certain nations that he is not with. All you have to do is read Romans 9 and 13. He hates Esau, man. Why? Because of his track record. Just check it out. Okay, it's a no-brainer. You think the Lord is down with the way this man has been behaving? He is the problem. It's got to go, man. Okay, and if you can't see it, then you're just lost, man. If our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Right? So, Nahum 3 and 5, it says, Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts. It says, And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Okay, ultimately, this is talking about America. But, you know, Babylon the Great, aka America, is synonymous with Esau Edom. Okay, and I'll prove that in just a moment, Lord willing. But the Lord said he's exposed, it's, you know, discovering his skirts upon his face is just another way of exposing him with all the Jeffrey Epstein mess and all the Pizzagate and just everything that these people are up to, okay? And how they're sexual deviants, what they do with dogs and animals and children, and their history of how they got down when they were murdering us and, you know, segregating us and all that. You know, the Lord is revealing all of that through the age of the internet, okay? So this is what's going down in these times we're living in. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. You're exposed, Esau. You're all out there, or everything's showing. It says, And I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And America's getting exposed for all its wickedness, all its genocide, and the world is fed up. Everyone turning, all the allies of America turning against America. Okay, so that's part of the showing the nations their shame. Okay, but it's also, like I said, synonymous with Esau Edom. Let's read verse 6, Nahum 3 and 6. It says, And I will cast abominable filth upon thee. You know, that Epstein thing is a big part of this prophecy. Okay, I wish it literally went into detail and said, and I will tell everybody about Epstein, and you know what I mean? But we know through the Spirit that this is, that Epstein ordeal is exactly, because that's changed the mindset of people forever, man. Everyone's always going to look at the Edomite in the way of, you know, the Epstein class, man. It ain't just their elites, it's them, their whole damn race. Okay, they're and they're getting revealed more and more and more on social media. Trust me, I am big scroller. Okay, that's part of my weakness. Okay, but it's all not for entertainment. It's all to be bringing out these lessons for you, man, because it's the ones that I feel through the Spirit pull me to do a lesson on it. That's what I'm presenting you, man. You know, all through the Spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But you know, I've seen Esau firsthand on social media, how he's getting down and how he's getting exposed more and more as time goes on. And it's beautiful for me to see, but disgusting to see at the same time, because the things I see from this man, you can't unsee it. It says, And I will discover thy skirts on thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Verse 6, And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile. Yeah, man. Yeah, they're vile. And I will set thee as a gazing stock. It's over for the so-called white man, okay? Even if they're Edomite or not. You know, the whole world looks as the so-called white man, whether they're our people or not, as an Edomite. Or they don't know them by the term Edomite, but they look at them as a so-called white person, man. So even if you're our people, you know, unless you repent, hey, man, the whole world is looking at you like you're one of them. And it's a shame that it's that way, but bro, it's not a good time for the so-called white man. Let me just put it that way, okay? They're catching hell, and you know, brown people are multiplying around them and taking over their countries. You know, and the more brown people there are, the more bold, you know, the weak are saying they're strong now. You know, on a national, on a nation scale, country scale, and you know, on a nationality scale, on a people scale, man. You know, the common people are multiplying. The brown people, they're multiplying around these heathen, especially the Edomite. And he can't handle it, because now he's getting a taste of his own medicine. He's now feeling what it feels like to have foreigners invade your country. Okay, they've done it all over the world, and they've been absolutely horrible and violent. But you know, these people coming over, you might get a little rape here and there. You might get a little a little act of violence or whatever, right? I'm not calling it little in the sense that it's not a big deal, but I'm just saying it's dotted about. It's not as grand scale as the media likes to try and push, but you know, that sorcery works on the minds of the simple, because these people are just simple believeth every word. But yeah, man, Esau is, you know, unhappy because brown people taking over, and I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing every bit of it. Okay. Jake is now being emboldened. Elam, Ishmael, they're all ganging up on Esau, man, because he's been a bully, and now the bully is, you know, he's panicking. I can only imagine what's going through the mind of the Edomite right now, okay, because they know that they've been very unwelcoming to other people. So when other people are now the majority, which we already are, the brown people are the majority, but when it starts to become evident around them in their small communities, that's when it's really going to sink in that they're in trouble, because they know that they're going to have to humble themselves around brown people now, rather than, you know, poking out their chest in pride being the majority. And that is something that they are fearing. But there's no reversing this, man, okay? But Esau's rooting for that purge. He wants that purge, and the purge is coming. It's coming, but it ain't gonna go exactly the way Esau's hoping, okay? He's gonna shed a lot of blood because he's the sword of the Lord, but he's gonna get his blood shed too on a large scale, because, you know, Jake is roused up. And I've got another actually lesson lined up on that topic, man, because Jake is getting roused up, but Jake is carnal, and Jake gonna get slaughtered out there in them streets, man. Let's turn to Habakkuk, because I want to just bring out one more precept. So I'm just going to read verse 16, Habakkuk 2 and 16. I just want to get straight to the point. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory," right? That's that shame. That's that abominable filth being cast upon him. Like I just read in Nahum 3 and 5, or 3 and 6 or 7. But yeah, man, this is a precept lining up, because he's filled with shame for glory. It says, "Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered." So not only is his skirt above his face, but his foreskin is uncovered. It's representing, it's parabolic language, just representing the same thing, that he's being exposed. You know, you pull your foreskin back. You know, you're all out there exposed, man. It's just metaphorically speaking, okay? It's not literal, but he is being exposed literally. Okay, so let thy foreskin be uncovered. It says, "The cup of Yahweh's right hand," which is Yahushai, it says, "shall be turned unto thee." So this sweet white Jesus they think is coming back. They're going to be shocked on that day when they see there's a so-called black man, and he's angry and he hates them, and he's coming to kill them, put them in slavery, you know, which is the true gospel, easily proven with scripture. But anyway, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. So they're going to have to drink that cup, the cup of slavery, the cup of judgment, everything that we had to go through, because we drank that cup. Now it's time for them to drink that cup, man, because they've just sexual deviants running around this earth being a freak and a weirdo. It says, "And shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." So, you know, everyone's talking about this man in a negative way. You know, their reputation is cooked. Shameful spewings on their glory. They're in power right now. They're supposed to be lying in mad glory. You think we're going to have this type of reputation when we're in power? Especially in them new bodies that don't go off. You know, when we're all righteous, man. We ain't going to have no shameful spewing on our glory. But this man's got a stain on his legacy that he will never be able to wipe away, man. And he will never be able to wipe that away. Let me see if I can pull that up, man. I know I said that will be my last precept, but I lied. Yeah, not intentionally, obviously. It says, yeah, Here we go. Job 20 starting at 11. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. So his reputation, when he's out of here, he's going to leave behind a reputation, when his nation goes to the grave, because they're all getting extinct, pursuant to Job. Obadiah 1 and 18, as well as many other precepts. But these people are getting ready to go into extinction. And when they do, their reputation is going to be cooked. And they will not be missed. His bones are full of the sin of his youth. So all the sins of their past, it's all being revealed now, man. And the Lord has remembered it. And he's built up a hell of a tab for you, Esau. It says, which shall lie down with him in the dust. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. Okay, because, they come across like they're somebody they're not. They come across like they're so civilized and noble and righteous, when really they're the worst thing that world has ever seen. And everyone is starting to agree. But they're a bit late, a bit slow, but they're getting there. And it's a beautiful thing to see, Jake waking up. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth. They love wickedness, man. Okay, hence the clip I showed you. It says, he hide it under his tongue. It says, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asps within him. Okay, and it's going to explain what that means in just a second. It says, verse 15, he hath swallowed down riches and shall vomit them up again. So the meat in his bowels is turned. It means that, all the things he's stolen the earth, his glory that he's gained through deception, it's not sitting well in his stomach because of how he got it. Even if he was to continue reigning his reign of terror upon the earth for longer, he's not going to get respect. Everyone going to know how he got there. You didn't get there righteously. You're not superior. To be superior is to not go around killing everyone and raping everyone, and, enslaving everyone. We don't do that. Okay, you Edomites' behavior is low IQ, man. You claim to be so superior, man, but your behavior is absolutely like you're just babies, like children, running around thinking you know what you're doing, just messing stuff up, man. Let professionals, let real men handle it, ruling the earth, man, because you gotta go. Anyway, it says, he hath swallowed down riches, Job 20 and 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. So he's going to return everything he stole, because he's going to be out of here. So everything he has is going to be passed over to the new rulers instantaneously. Okay, it says, the Most High shall cast them out of his belly. It says, he shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter, in the kingdom. It says, well, he's going to see it when he's building it, part of it. And he's going to envy us, but he ain't going to be able to do nothing against us. It says, in verse 18, it says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. It says, according to his substance shall the restitution be. Okay, so everything he has, all his substance, that's what he's going to restore. That's the restitution. It says, and he shall not rejoice therein. They ain't going to be happy about that. They don't want us having nothing, let alone everything they possess, plus the world. They're going to be butthurt. But Esau, I dare you to do something about it. You wouldn't even dare, boy. Not when we're ruling. It's over for you. I ain't gonna say too much, man. It's over for you people, man. Job 20 and 19. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, we're the poor, he forsook the hell out of us, man. Look how he treats us, man. It says, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not. Right? They did that to us. They've done that to everyone, really. Everywhere they went and colonized and stole. Through rape, rob, and murder, they stole their possessions, man. Okay, it's like lines up with John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal, kill, and destroy. And the Lord came that he will bring life more abundantly. And who is that thief that come to steal, kill, and destroy? Because the Christian church thinks it's some guy under the ground with a pitchfork, horns, and a tail. But it was always talking about Esau. Okay. Anyway, verse 20, Job 20 and 20, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. See, he's got bubble guts right now. Okay. And he's about to crap everything out that he stole, man. He shall not save of that which he desired. His new world order. Okay, the Lord won't disappoint this man. It says, there shall none of his meat be left, therefore no man look for his goods, because he's not going to be in power. He ain't going to have nothing. He ain't going to have a pot pissing. So ain't nobody going to be looking for his goods. He ain't got no meat left. Esau is so bad. Might as well finish it out here, or the highlighted bit. You know, it's not highly related to the topic of the lesson, but you know, I'm on a mad one. You know, I'm flowing in the spirit. Look at this thing, man. It's over. It's yeah. You could try and hide your shame, but the Lord is exposing you, Esau. Okay, even in the form of that clip that you saw, the Lord chipping away at him bit by bit. Everyone's exposing him, even his own people, man. So Job 20 and 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, right, in the peak of his rulership, which he's at now, he's got AI, internet, airports, road, highways, and this man's got it going on, ain't he? So in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Straits means a position of difficulty, a very tough situation. They're fumbling their kingdom, man. They're losing. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When you go into that word wicked, it's the Hebrew word amal, which means the laborer. Okay, it just means the citizens, the taxpayers, the people that are being oppressed, even his own people. Okay, even our people. Okay, because that word is the etymology of that word wicked is different. It says amal in the Hebrew. So verse 23, Job 20 and 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. Meaning, you know, when he's about to fulfill his new world order agenda by microchipping everyone, which is the mark of the beast, pursuant to Revelations 13 and 16 on down. But when he's about to do that and enslave everyone through his digital system, his digital currency and all that, when he's about to do that, it says the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. So the Lord is going to save his elect from the clutches of this devil just in time. It says, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So while he's in the midst of chipping everyone up and fulfilling his enterprise, his new world order agenda, the Lord going to disappoint him by raining nukes upon him. Okay. So when it says that he shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, the hint in that is where it says, and shall rain it upon him. Okay, because it's going to come down like figs from a fig tree, like John the Revelator saw, man. It's them ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay, they're going to be shot from Russia, China, Iran, all of that, and they're going to fall upon America and destroy America, turn it into a desert. So verse 24, it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, meaning the nukes. Okay, the Lord ain't going to say nukes in the Bible, okay, because it wasn't known as nukes back then. They didn't even exist back then. It says he shall flee from the iron weapon, the weapon of the Lord's indignation. It says, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Okay, representing the nukes. They're going to get him, man. It says it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, the weapon silos. It says terrors are upon him. Because they know the prophecies, these elites. They know this day is coming. You even got a lot of, average Edomite Trump supporters that, are catching wind of this, whether they believe it or not. More than likely, most of them don't believe it if they've heard it. Because that's Esau's pride. He's rooted in pride and thinks that he's always going to be in power. Okay? Can you imagine the world forever with this so-called white man ruling over us? Could you imagine that? We'd all be screwed, man. it says, verse 26, all darkness shall be hidden in secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. So they're going to get destroyed by the nukes and the fallout. And those that those that aren't repented, you know, they're still in their tabernacle. They haven't entered into the chambers and hid themselves. So it's going to go ill with them. You know, the ones that ain't got bunkers. Because the elite's going to escape the nukes, okay? The Lord is allowing them. He's setting them up to escape the nukes because they're the first fruits of slavery, okay? The Lord has set this whole thing up perfectly. And if you can't see it, it just wasn't meant for you to see. It is what it is. We don't care because we know the elect is going to be sealed either way. And really, that's all we care about. 2/3 are absolutely through. No fixing them. So there ain't no point in even trying. Okay, but we cast our net out to everyone in hopes that the elect will catch on, and they will. But when we cast our net to everyone, we're not hoping to catch everyone, okay? We're only hoping for the elect. And the elect are the only ones that will catch on anyway. And this is the famous precept right here. Job 20 and 27, the heaven, which is the satellites, goes into the satellites, represents the satellites. Okay, because the satellites are what give us the internet. Really, it's representing the internet, but it goes into the satellites that are in the heavens. It says, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity. Okay, reveal his... the heaven shall reveal his iniquity. Oh, that's disgusting. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Okay, so he's getting his butt kicked by weather events, tsunamis, storms, all of that. The earth itself is rising up against him. Heat waves, wildfires, droughts. This man's having a hard time. He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot on his plate. He's got the famine to deal with, the war, the rebellion of the people, uproars of the people. He's got that to deal with. He's got a lot on his plate. He's in straits in the fullness of his sufficiency, as it says in Job 20 and 22. All right. So I'm going to leave that there. And Lord willing, you were edified, man. These people are a bunch of freaks, weirdos, and deep sexual deviants, man. Okay. And you be wise to stay away from them. The Bible even says, separate yourself from your enemies, take heed of your friends. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. And we know, pursuant to Psalms 83, as well as many other precepts, that the heathen and the Edomite, the number one enemy being the Edomites. You know, they're our number one enemy. They're our enemies, man. Okay. So, so be wise to separate from them, man, because even if they're not like, you know, that thing that you saw in that clip, they're probably like the ones on the low that are popping it. But the Edomite ain't right. And, you know, you can normally tell who's an Edomite through the spirit, man. So I'm going to leave that there. And Lord willing, you were edified. Okay, till the next one, I want to say shalom.